Hello everybody and welcome to Appalachian Cemetery Hunting with Robin. This is Greg once again, and today we're going to be looking at the Cable family cemetery that is located in Cades, Cove in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Now this first map shows the location of the park itself. The second map shows the Cades Cove Loop Road, and the area circled in red shows the area where this cemetery is located. Now, for all of you who may not have been to Cades Cove in the past, the scenery here is absolutely fantastic, especially when the autumn colors are at their peak. There are numerous cabins, barns, churches, and other cemeteries all within the cove. You know, if there's a farmer's heaven, I'm guessing it looks like this area right here. If you go, you'll probably spot some deer. And if you're lucky, you'll see some black bears. But folks, if you spot a mother bear with her cubs, for heaven's sake, stay in your car. If you get too close to them, she will attack and be put down, and then the cubs will be orphans. The only downside I can think of about Cades Cove is the bumper-to-bumper traffic, because this is one of the most visited national parks in the entire country. Now, getting to the cemetery itself, there is no sign indicating that this is the Cable family cemetery, but this is the entrance. So let's get started. First, we have Amanda Wilcox, 1890 to 1899. Next, we have B.T. Cable, 1881 to 1900. Now we have Benjamin Cable, 1862 to 1896. Now we have Calvin Russell Cable, 1893 to 1925. Next, we have Casper Cable, 1856 to 1912. As far as we can tell, this is actually a real crow sitting on his headstone, but we did not take this picture. This was actually taken off findagrave.com. Next, we have Casper R.L. Cable, 1878 to 1896. Now we have Dewey C. Cable, 1920 to 1926. Next, we have Elizabeth Whitehead Cable, 1821 to 1890. Next, Elizabeth Bowman Gregg, 1843 to 1911. Next, we have Elmina Sophrona Wilcox, and I hope I pronounced that right, 1907 to 1925, and here's a picture of her. Next, we have Elsie Ann Snodgrass Wilcox, 1893 to 1966, and her husband, William Paul Wilcox, 1894 to 1968. Now we have Ethel Effie Cable, 1891 to 1922, and here's her picture. Now we have Florence Cable Wilson, 1872 to 1924. Now we have Flossie Wilcox, 1905 to 1926, and here's a picture of her. Next is Harley Jordan Wilcox, March 10th, 1914 to March 21st, 1914. Now the years on the stones are wrong, and this is according to his death certificate. Next we have an infant from the Law family. They were born and died in 1901. We have an infant son of the Cable family, 1884 to 1886. And we have another infant son, this time of the Post family, and he was born and died September 15th, 1871. Next, we have J. Roddy Smith, 1881 to 1907. J. W. Cable, 1903 to 1920. James Cable, September 15th, 1894 to September 18th, 1894, just a few days old. Now we have James V. Cable, 1849 to 1930. John Primer Cable, 1819 to 1891. Next is Julius D. Gregg, 1842 to 1918. Now we have Lorraine A. Cable, 1874 to 1888. Next, we have Martha Alice White Cable, 1871 to 1918. And here is her picture, and we do not know the name of the baby she is holding in this picture. Next, we have Marthy J. Cable, and it is right, it's Marthy, 1851 to 1918. Now we have Mary C. Cable LaGuire, 1847 to 1927. Next, we have Maud A. Wilcox Schlosson, and I hope I pronounced that right, 1903 to 1956, and her husband Philip J. Schlosson Sr., 1884 to 1974. This first picture of them is from around 1921, and it could be their wedding picture. And the second picture was taken in 1950. Next, we have Millie Wilcox McLennan, 1896 to 1917, and this is a picture of her. We have Rebecca Ann Cable, 1884 to 1911. And next, we have Rebecca Cable, 1844 to 1940. Now, the first picture is actually her second headstone. And this is her original stone, which is, I believe, is behind the new one. Now, this picture is off of an education plaque close to her house in Cades Cove. This next picture is a close-up of that picture shown on the plaque showing of her. The next picture shows some more information about Rebecca, and I'll give you some time to read it. Okay, and this next picture is of Rebecca that is on display at the Great Smoky Mountain Heritage Center in nearby Townsend, Tennessee. This is her actual home in Cades Cove, close to the Cove's Visitor Center. And here's a photo of part of the house's interior. Next, we have Rebecca Jane Gregg Birchfield, 1877 to 1911. Now we have Richard Wilcox, 1912 to 1912. Riley Cable, 1927 to 1929. And now we have Rod Lynn Law, 1952 to 2023, and he was a veteran of the United States Navy. Next, we have Sarah M. Gregg Wilcox, 1870 to 1927, and here is her picture. Now we have Susan Elvira Birchfield Cable, 1851 to 1911. And now here's a grave that have twins of J.A. Law, and they were born and died in 1908. Next, we have Verna McLennan, 1917 to 1918. Now we have Violet Hall, 1923 to 1944. There is no picture of her grave, but here's one of her death certificate. And last and certainly not least, we have William Nathaniel LaGuire, 1833 to 1918. And during the Civil War, he was a private in Company F of the 69th North Carolina Infantry, Confederate Legion Mountaineers, Confederate States Army. Now, I did a little research on this unit, and the unit was comprised of a lot of Cherokee Indians. Now, whether Mr. LaGuire was one, that I do not know. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little video about this cemetery in the Cades Cove. And if you all ever get a chance, please, I urge you to go, because the scenery is absolutely beautiful. A lot of history in the Cove. And if you will, please hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons, and we'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.